Homestead Senior High School presents It's the Culture for Me, a virtual presentation in honor of Black History Month. Our talented students and staff members here at Homestead have gathered together to prepare a short presentation showcasing their appreciation for African American culture. First up, we have our wonderful Assistant Principal, Mrs. Young, with an inspirational message.
You said you couldn't read. I showed you Floyd Mayweather and Fantasia. You said you're homeless. I showed you Tyler Perry and Tiffany Haddish. You said you thought you could never get past a dark place. I showed you Jennifer Hudson. You said you were nothing but a drug addict. I showed you Samuel L. Jackson. You said your appearance would hinder your opportunities. I showed you Lizzo. You said you were molested. I showed you Oprah Winfrey. You said nobody could beat cancer. I showed you Robin Roberts. You said life was over because you were HIV positive. I showed you Magic Johnson. You said the odds were against you because you were adopted. I showed you Nelson Mandela. You said you weren't strong enough to persevere. I showed you Chadwick Boseman. You said you couldn't leave the streets. I showed you Jay-Z. You said you were cheated on and it crushed you. I showed you Beyonce. You said your father wasn't around and your mom really struggled. I showed you LeBron James. You said mixed kids never really fit in. I showed you Barack Obama. You said you were too old and your time was up. I showed you Tiger Woods. You said you should give up after losing the biggest opportunity of your life. I showed you Stacey Abrams. You said you grew up in public housing, and I showed you Raphael Warnock. You said no one would listen because of your speech impediment. I showed you Amanda Gorman. You said no woman has ever risen that far, and I showed you Kamala Harris. Perseverance is the power that fuels our becoming. We are warriors. It's in our DNA. Happy Black History Month, Franklin.
Next, we have our talented Bronco marching band, Drumline. Step Team.
Stepping finds its origin in a combination of military close order and exhibition drill and African foot dances such as the Welly Gumboot dance. It also originally drew heavily from the stage routines and movements of popular R&B groups such as the Temptations and the Four Tops. Stepping was developed by African American fraternities and sororities in the mid-20th century and also is practiced by Latino, Asian American Greek letter fraternities as well as by other groups. And it has become a recreational and competitive activity in some American high schools. Here at Homestead Senior High, we have our very own Bronco Step Squad. Formation. Steppers, let's go. Formation. Bronco step. B-R-O-N-C-O, you know.
Now presenting Miss Leah Francione singing Summertime by George Gershwin.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and curtains high. Your daddy's rich and your mother is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, then you'll spread your wings and take to the skies. But until that morning, nothing can harm you with mommy and daddy standing by.
Up next, we have the Bronquettes performing a dance combination.
In America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. And as Muslims, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to
Try to
Broncos have shared pieces of their artwork honoring historical African Americans in Mr. Contano and Miss Ultimus' class. Cheerleaders performing Hey Black Child by Eugene Perkins.
Black Child was originally written by Eugene Perkins as a song performed in a play called The Blackberry in 1974. Perkins' brother then wrote the words to a song on a poster, which turned the song into a poem. The poem was introduced again to the black culture during the Harlem Renaissance era by Connie Cullen to encourage black children of all their possibilities, because during that time, their possibilities weren't made apparent to them.
Later in the history, the great Maya Angelou rebirthed a poem to help remind the black children of her time of all their possibilities. Hey, Black Child will forever be recognized and passed from generation to generation within the black culture because it is a reminder to the black children that they are strong and learning and doing will help them bring about a nation that will be what you want it to be.
Now sit back and watch the Lady Broncos put some new school swag into Hey Black Child.
Hey, Black Child! Do you know who you are? Who you really, really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be? If you try to be what you can't be. Hey, Black Child! Do you know where you're going? Where you really, really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn? If you try to learn what you can't learn. Hey, Black Child! Do you know you are strong? I mean, really, really strong. Do you know you can do what you want to do? If you try to do what you can't do. Hey, Black Child! Be what you can be. Learn what you must learn. Do what you can do. And tomorrow your nation will be what you want it to be. Hey, Black Child!
Next we have Aristide Reynoso singing A Change Is Gonna Come by Otis Redding.
like this river. I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. It's been too hard living, and I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the clouds. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it is. There was a time I'd go to my brother. I'd ask my brother, will you help me please? He'd turn me down, then I'd go to my dear mother. I said, mother, I'm on my knees. There's been a time that I thought, Lord, this couldn't last much longer. But somehow I thought I'd be able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it is. Just like I said, I went to my itty bitty brother. I'd ask my brother, will you help me please? He'd turn me down, then I'd go to my dear mother. I said, mother, I'm on my knees. But there was a time that I thought, Lord, it's gonna last much longer. But somehow I thought I'd be able to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Oh yes it is. Yeah. Just like I said, a change is going to come. Oh, it's been a long time coming.
Now presenting Joanna Richardson reciting A. Maya Angelou original.
Still, I rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lines. You may trap me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with their certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed-headed and lower eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the husk of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Last but certainly not least, we have the Blue Diamonds dance team performing a hip-hop piece.
Hey, this be how community party rock all that room. The world finna go crazy with this one. Let's get groovy. Run it up, ha! Hit the groove, hit the groove, hit the groove, ayy. Hit the groove, hit the groove, hit the groove, ayy. Hit the groove, hit the groove, hit the groove, ayy. On the limits of the hottest shit is cool, ayy. Step, beat, back, up there, come here, give me a back, yeah, I love my gas. Don't question about it, we go right up every hit it, ooh. They say you so smooth and you so flat, then we hit the book. Hit the book, they baby, for some more, we been that low and hit the book. I tell my bullets what they bring.
She like the way I dance, she like the way I move, she like the way I rock, she like the way I woo. And she let it clap for it, she let it clap for it. And she throw it back for it, yeah, she throw it back for it. Like a man, Billy Jean, Christian Dior, up in the love stores. When they raise the pose, she like the way I
I hope you enjoyed this showcase of Black excellence. Thank you to all of our participants, administration, our BTV crew, and all of our staff here at Homestead for making this possible. Happy Black History Month, Broncos.
That beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material. This nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.